One more time. Alrighty, folks, what do we think? Stolen Kingdom. Wow, that was amazing. So, I've been told I have to stand up here and kill some time because we need to reset the stage, but I want to know, do you guys think that Patrick is an actual, like, Disney legend?
Yeah.
No, you don't think so? Did he do it?
Yeah.
Okay, let's take a poll of the audience. Who? Let's hear a cheer if you think he did not do it. Thank you, so all 6 of you. Are you from Florida? All right, let's hear a cheer if you think he did do it. I guess we're never really gonna know, folks. Okay,
I'm
so
on mic too.
you have a mic too?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, this is amazing. And the
What was that
strings.
about Florida? What is that supposed to mean?
I didn't say anything bad about Florida. You're wearing an I Love Canada shirt.
That's right.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome your director, Josh Bailey. And of course, executive producer, Jake Williams. All right, okay. Oh, I have this mic, but there's also this mic. Is this one better? Is this one better?
Is this one mine?
better?
Yeah.
Is it?
You're on mic, Jake. Jake made me buy this shirt in Vancouver.
I think it's very fitting.
I needed something to show my new Canadian pride, you know? I've learned that it's a real country, and I'm here and I'm having a great time.
A real country. What do you think we were before?
I wasn't so sure
Disney
that it was
World?
a real place, you know? They don't teach us a lot about it over there in America, especially in
Typical
Florida.
American.
Our education system in Florida, boy. I'm sure you guys have, you know.
Based off of the talent in this film, I mean, it didn't look like they had a lot going on there. I mean, Patrick was pretty brazen at one point.
What do you think they were so bored that they just started stealing from Disney World?
Do you think that, audience?
I think that, yeah, that is kind of what happened.
So I watched, folks, this is the very first time I've watched this film. So I took a couple of notes. I'm going to consult my phone in a minute.
Took your phone out during the movie?
Listen, it was very dim and it was in black and white mode. And
Okay.
don't sass me.
No, I'm glad that you took notes.
It's my pleasure. But I think what I wanted to get into now is let's get serious. Come on, Josh.
We're very not serious over here. You just watched that fucking movie. Do you think we are a serious film production here? Maybe Bright Sun Films is, but
No.
All right, so let's start off here with the origins for figuring out where did we start from here? Was it that Buzzy was missing and you really wanted to know what happened, or was it that there was this whole culture around Disney that you wanted to investigate? How did this begin?
the second one. Yeah, but so Buzzy wasn't stole. You believe he was stolen?
I don't believe anything. I'm just asking
Okay.
questions.
Buzzy was still in his right place when I came up with the idea for the film. I grew up in Tampa, which is like 60 or so miles from Orlando, and I was really fascinated with Disney, I think because of that. Because it was like not in my backyard to the point where I was sick of it, but it was like, you know, arm's reach. It was still magical from a bit of a distance. Very, very young, growing up in the 2000s, I was also into like all the cool little boy things in the 2000s, like Jackass and Viva La Bam and Green Day. And a lot of these people are kind of like a crossover of that, especially like Adam the Woo. He was in a punk band, he played bass in a punk band. This other guy, Justin Scarred, that's not in the film now, he also had his own punk band. And I just like, in the early years of YouTube, found this weird like, what's now called this like Disney adult culture, but didn't really have like a name at the time. And I realized like I could still be a fan of Disney and not feel like I was lame. You know, you get older, you're like, can I still like this and it's cool? Do I need to like, you know, you're kind of wrestling with your self-image as you enter high school. But they really like changed that for me, I think. And I continued to be a fan of Disney and hardcore and punk rock and skateboarding. But then they all started to get arrested. So I thought maybe they aren't the best role models in the world.
It's not funny, but it's really funny.
It's pretty funny. The video where Adam gets banned and he talks about it is pretty funny.
What's the name of it?
Oh, well, it's the quote where he says, file this vlog blog under Adam the Woo has seen better days category. He's really crashing out pretty hard. It's not funny, but it's funny, yeah. I moved to Orlando. I worked at Disney for 4 short months and then quit because I hated it. I'm wanting to make documentaries really bad, and this is all happening at the same time. So I kind of dog-ear the topic. Like, maybe these guys, Leonard, Nomius, Adam DeWoo, maybe there's a doc there or a short doc, and I kind of follow up with them after they've been banned and interview them and talk to them afterwards and see how they're feeling. Like, now you've been banned from Disney World, how do you feel?
Could you give us a timeline on that? When?
Yeah, this was 2013. So that was the year I graduated high school and I moved to Orlando. So it kind of just coincided with me starting a filmmaking program at a community college and them getting banned. Never did it. I didn't have like friends or support in the filmmaking world. I didn't know what I was doing. I was 18. And then years later, it starts happening again. All these accounts start uploading. 3 of them, or maybe Matt Sansois, Backdoor Disney, no one knew who Patrick was yet. And a couple other things. Jake was obviously covering it as well at the time. I was maybe kind of going out and doing some Disney Urbex videos, maybe. Can't confirm or deny
Is there a
that.
channel that we can?
But there is this weird channel on YouTube called the Bay Lake Boys. And there's like 3 or 4 videos on there. It's really weird. Never found out who those guys were.
Me neither.
And we met Patrick. I baited a Twitter account for this, or whoever made this Twitter account for this Bay Lake Boys guys, and DM'd Patrick and asked him to hang out. We gave him fake names. Everything was fake because we were really scared of getting caught. We were using like VPNs and fake emails to sign up and all this stuff. Trying to be smart. I think in the same way that Patrick thought that he was being really smart. We thought we were
I don't know
being
how
really
smart Patrick thought he was being.
Really smart. He thinks he's a genius. And we hung out with Patrick in November or September, October, somewhere around then of 2018. So a few months before Buzzy was stolen or removed. And he told us everything. We thought that we were kind of investigating this Disney Urban Exploring community, but he revealed this whole black market side of it, this like strange aspect that we never considered. And that side of it, I think, brought these 2 things together for me to make a full feature documentary, and the rest was history. We tried to hang out with him again 2 months later, and he told us that Buzzy was gone. So then we really like doubled down on like this needs to be a film. Yeah.
So, one question that I had, especially toward the end of the film, was, do you consider this to be a victimless crime? The dismemberment, potential dismemberment of Buzzy?
Loaded question. Just Buzzy specifically, or stealing from
even
Disney?
just stealing from Disney. I mean, there was $25,000 of restitution that was paid out. Who was that to? Does Disney need it? Did he deserve to pay that?
And where do you get that money?
Obviously from the stolen goods.
Yes.
Choose your
I just
words
wanted you to
carefully.
say.
$25,000 is it was pennies. I mean, compared
People
to,
film these Q&As,
I'm not responsible for anything.
I am.
So
Disney's watching.
Disney, you know what? So Jake,
Don't steal from Disney, right? Right?
but Jake, so let's talk about your involvement in this film. I mean, I know
Your whole history, Jake. Yeah.
who are. Tell us a bit
Start
about
2012.
Yeah.
Tell us a bit about how you got involved with this film. I know who here has heard of Bright Sun Films? Anybody make some noise?
Oh, look at that. Fans in the house.
You make such incredible content. That's how I found you on Twitter. And it's nothing weird. But tell us about how you got involved with this. I know you love Disney. I know you've been involved with this before. You're an urban explorer as well in your own right. So yeah, tell us a bit about how you got involved.
Right. So I happened to come across a Twitter account called the Bay Lake Boys.
That is so weird.
Yeah, it's weird because I DM'd them and they were doing some interesting urbex around Orlando, and I didn't have any friends in the area, and I was going there all the time. So I reached out and I met up with this guy with glasses, and some other guy, and they picked me up in a car at like 11:30 p.m. and we went to this abandoned golf course that was a former Marriott. We had a great time. Both of them were very nice. Then we went home. They ghosted me afterwards.
We had to lay low.
Oh, I'm sorry. Wait, was that you?
Oh shit! My name is not George.
Well, as it turns out, 2 or 3 years later,
Years later.
I noticed this very talented graphic designer
Aw.
doing work for Dan Bell, who was in the film.
Yeah.
And I reached out to him because I was making a film at the time and asked him if he wanted to do poster designs. And we got on a Zoom call together. And wow, he looks so similar to the guy that I met in Orlando in 2017, 2016.
2017.
So interesting. And maybe a year or two after that, Josh Bailey, who his name turned out to be, asked if I wanted to be a part of the film. And originally I was going to do an interview, and that turned into an executive producer role, so that was a bit of a conflict of interest. And here we are today, in Toronto.
Yeah.
Of all places, and
Look at that.
you've been across the country now. You've been across the United
Oh.
States. How many cities have you?
Boy, have we. 24 different cities, in the United States. That was exhausting, but a lot of fun.
A lot of fun.
Yeah.
So, this leads into my next question, and that is that there was a quote in the film, and it said, "Familiarity breeds contempt."
Yeah.
Right? And both of you are urban explorers. You've been around places before. You've seen places before. Has there ever been a location you've explored where that really applies?
Yeah, I'm sure. I mean, I explored at Disney World, so. I did what these guys did. I had an annual pass and I worked at the parks and I could go all the time, so I think that's part of my unique perspective on it. I think a really important part about documentary is that kind of access and perspective. And I had that, in spades. I went all the time, and Wonders of Life in particular was open seasonally and was just kind of this weird, dead mall feeling place. And we knew as huge Disney fans about Body Wars and Cranium Command, the two attractions in the pavilion. Just every year it would come around, and it was just they would open it for the Food and Wine Festival, and it was boring. They would do wine seminars in there, and I'm 21 or 22 or something, so I don't want to sit at a wine seminar and hear them talk about wine. So we're just pulling on door handles because we knew what was back there. We got into Body Wars, but I do kind of deeply regret that I never got into Cranium Command and Salt Buzzy.
So that was a very interesting part of the film, where we saw saw the film really break into that wall and see behind what people aren't supposed to see, the magic of Disney, right? So explain to me what it was like to get those answers out of your subjects in the film, like Patrick, for example. How did you get them to a place where they would tell you all of this, especially with court cases ongoing and all of that? That's a little weird, but incredible at the same time.
He was still on probation, yeah. Yeah, that is a very frequently asked question. How do we get them to say this or that? These guys just kind of said it. Patrick, clearly, he's more than willing to admit these things. I will say we did a first interview with him. He was our very first interview, because it was, if we don't have Patrick, we don't have a film. So we arranged that with him because I had hung out with him in 2018, right before Buzzy. Years later, when I called him, he kind of knew that we had a bit of a rapport. We had gone out and explored together, so we weren't random people, and I think that helped him agree to the interview. He was not as forthcoming as we wanted him to be about the crimes. He was still right in the middle of his probation, and we didn't push him at all. We just kind of did the interview as is. We off camera were like, hey, I think you can talk about this stuff. These cases are closed and things, but we're not lawyers, so if you're not comfortable, that's okay. And then months later, 6 or 8 months later, he was calling me every day, or a few times a week, and I picked up every time thinking he was gonna confess to Buzzy or something. Never did. He was just bored and lonely. But we built this relationship with each other. The second interview, where he's wearing the Super Mario shirt, is obviously very, very different. That's the one where he's looking into the camera and being like, Orange County, you got fucking played. Totally different. And he's in the month that his probation ended.
Yeah.
So it was just like nurturing that relationship with these people. And I think it was also being in the community. Jake and I were both kind of like spearheading communication with all of these people. And if I didn't know them already, Jake was talking to them and they knew of Jake. So we had just been around for a long time at that point.
So let's break into that. Let's talk about the infamous Disney community, right? We hear about this quite a bit. I mean, there's a huge cult following. I mean, you know, to Disney, and this film has now been across the United States. You have release coming up for what? It's the 1st of August, correct? Pre-order digital release coming out.
Yeah, it might be the 4th now, but yeah, soon.
Soonish.
Soon, yeah.
What has the response been from the Disney community?
I want you to talk more. Well,
That's
in
a good
your
Jake
experience,
question.
Jake, you're a part of this Disney YouTube world in a way, not wholly, but sometimes you dip into the Disney stuff.
I feel like that's a bit of a slight against me. That was a bit of an insult, wasn't it?
No, I don't think you want to be labeled. I'm trying to be respectful.
I appreciate
You don't want to be labeled as a Disney content creator.
No, I mean,
'Cause that's inaccurate.
let's just say I don't think we should check the forums, the Disney forums about the film. It's probably not the best. I don't know. I mean, there's subjects in the film, maybe not to ruin the magic of the film itself, but there's subjects of the film that haven't been super excited about about the project coming out.
What?
You know?
What did they think going into it? I mean,
Yeah, Josh.
Listen, the guys in this movie are very complicated people. And all men, isn't that really interesting?
I'm not surprised.
We get letterbox reviews about that sometimes, and they're like, of course, men. I'm like, yeah, men are stupid.
no people of color.
Matt is
That was
black.
Jose.
So,
That's fair.
but then they also tried to hit him with the hardest fines.
He obviously did
Wow.
a much better job of
Weird, right?
getting out of it. I mean, you know,
He
he's
did get
very
those
strategic.
2 felony charges dropped, but they did try to hit him harder than Patrick. Patrick got completely away with it, and they just like
Yeah.
Patrick.
Patrick had money too. That's another thing that's not really talked about, but
Disney money.
Yeah,
He had their money.
He had more than
well, he had more than Disney.
yeah. His family. Not surprising that he's a rich kid. Yeah, not surprising. But no, I mean they knew exactly what it was about going into it. We had a long list of questions, and it was like most interviews I think were about 3 hours. So they should have known. But in the amount of time that we spent, like it was 4 or 5 years in post-production, I think minds can change, and actually seeing the thing finished is just very different. It's a hard thing to process and like be a part of, I'm sure. I don't really have a full perspective on that because I'm not in the film.
I mean, this is a film full of Florida men.
Yeah.
This is the Florida man movie, really, when you break it down.
Yeah.
You're right, and you know I'm gonna ask just one more question before we turn it over to the audience, and if you guys could just prepare your questions and
Start thinking of good questions.
yeah, we're gonna raise your hand and we'll call on you. We've got some time there, but I think the next thing I wanted to think was in that 5 years of post production, how did your mindset change as to the story here? Like, how did that evolve from, okay, we're done the interviews, we're gonna start editing, I think this is what happened, and this is where I want the story to go, versus where it went after things were in the editing room?
Yeah, good question. Because this started very differently than how it ended up. Well, we really didn't have we had an end goal, I guess, which is where we've landed, but I don't know if we thought that it was realistic. Actually playing in theaters or even finishing it at all. There was a reality where this just kind of lived on a hard drive. And we're thinking maybe it goes on YouTube. We're existing in this whole YouTube culture. Jake's on board, and it was a bit of a last resort because we did want like a theatrical experience. I think early on it was very fandom based and a little more inside baseball with the Disney fans. So we definitely changed the edit later on to be more suited for wider audiences and thought like I kind of had to remove myself from it a bit as a fan and like the person knowledgeable on all the subjects and the topics and everything, and really cut out a lot of the fat of the nitty-gritty details about the rides and things that just a lot of people don't know what Horizons is. So we had to like explain it just a little bit, like just enough, and then move on from it. And the whole Buzzy thing, like our minds changed, I think, every interview. And we thought maybe we would solve it. And at the time, I'm watching true crime documentaries to just get in the headspace for post-production and editing and things. And we started to, Matt Serrano and I wrote a script. We took the interviews and turned that into a script. But in them, I'm seeing these documentary directors become involved in the crimes and go to the police and report things and turn over evidence. So I'm like, maybe this will happen with us. Patrick is feeling like that's going to happen. He's becomes a different person by the end of us working with him. And it's just really boisterous. He's gonna say something really dumb and we're gonna have to go to the police and tell them something. And maybe we'll solve the crime. Those phone calls I got, I was like, maybe he's gonna tell me. And we're gonna have to start shooting again. We're gonna pick up the cameras and turn them on ourselves and be like, this is crazy, but we found Buzzy. And it was a combination of realizing that wasn't going to happen and also realizing that it's just not the most important part about the film. It was just really succinctly telling this story in however much time we needed, which only ended up being 74 minutes. But it's if you've never heard about this, here's a great little introduction to this subculture. And if you have heard about it, here's what I think is a really fun trip down memory lane. If you watched all this stuff happen on Twitter in 2018, which I think a lot of you guys did, to my understanding, it seems like there's a lot of people in here that did see all of this unfold on Twitter in real time. I think it's a lot of fun. Maybe I'm biased, but it's cool to watch this back. At this point, it's been a long time. So I think, my perspective on what the film needed to be totally changed.
Fair, and I'm very interested in hearing what the audience has to say here, folks. So let's see, maybe if we can ask our lovely team here to please raise the house lights for us, just so I can see a little bit. I'd really appreciate it. And we've got a gentleman here in the red. Please project for us, tell us your name, and then we'll answer your question.
My name is Adam. I'm actually a big fan of Bright Side Films. I've been watching
Nice.
Greenland video. Really liking that. I was also curious about, do you think that this film releasing is going to cause any momentum in the case? Or do you think that by now it's just dead and buried and it's basically just, it's not going to do much?
Yeah, so it's been 17 months, I guess. I really hoped that. We were in post-production for so long, I hoped that there would be some kind of momentum in the case. I would love to be the person that pushed it along and solved the case, even if I'm indirectly the reason that it was solved. But I honestly don't think so at this point. I don't know if you have a different opinion.
I just don't think they care anymore. I think they want to be done with it.
I think it's a combination of no one actually knows, and Orange County doesn't care.
Disney's such a massive organization that there's probably a good percentage of people who would know that don't know. And I don't think they care. I don't think anyone really, there's not the urgency for it. And I don't know if the film is enough to kick that down. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't think so.
It's a very good point. Okay, right over here.
Yeah, first off, the things I didn't think I was interested in is Disney adults. So thank you for that. I have a two-part question. So very unrelated. But one is what was Disney's reaction to this? Because obviously it was just super interesting to me as an individual. It's a different angle that I've probably seen in Disney. And then the other part is do you ever want to know what happened to Buzzy? Is that a goal of yours, or you're just kind of you like the mystery of it's unconcluded?
Good question.
We'd love to know.
Oh God, no, I don't know. I don't know what Disney's reaction has been. We know that no, they haven't said anything officially to us, but we know that they're aware of the film. We played just very prominent. We opened the Florida Film Festival, which is right up the road from Disney. And that was the moment. We had played a few other festivals, and I was like, well, if we didn't have a big fucking target on our back, here it is, And I was too stressed out to even look. I was like, I'm gonna look and see if there's somebody sitting in the back with a clipboard or something. Too stressed, so I have no idea, but I'm sure someone was there. We've heard from friends of friends that higher ups met about it and talked about it, but that's all we've gotten. Yeah, we haven't gotten an official statement from them. And yeah, I want to know where Buzzy is, of course. My God, I don't think I would change the film, but I want to know so badly. It's been like almost 8 years I've worked on this whole thing and known about it. So yeah, I want to know.
What's your educated guess?
Oh, here we go. Let's both give our. Oh, you're just gonna agree with mine again.
I have a feeling I am, yes. But go for it.
Okay. I think that Buzzy was stolen, not misplaced by Disney, because there was the police report, which was never closed. It's still open. So if Disney misplaced him, why wouldn't they just close the police report, right? And the fluids is not damning evidence either way, because
No.
right. But if Disney is, so I have evidence of other animatronics that were removed where they did it very sloppily.
Jeez.
Yeah.
This was done well.
At that point, it's going to archives anyways. It's never going to be functional in an attraction again. So and there were just rubber tubes that they can replace. So not super important, but I still do think that he was stolen, and I think that Patrick either ran his mouth and someone did it instead of him because he was too scared, or Patrick had something to do with it, kind of indirectly. I don't think that he was this like mastermind behind it or was there even. He could have just informed someone with like an educated guess. Or just like accidentally. He runs his mouth a lot. If you haven't noticed, talks a lot. He shares, very willingly. So he might have just shared and said, we have Matt saying someone offered him $50,000. So who else did he tell that to? I don't know. And did they just behind Patrick's back go, well, if he's not gonna fucking do it, then $50,000 is a lot of money, right? And maybe they asked Patrick, hey, if someone were to take that thing out, how would you do that? And he told them, and they went and did it. And he maybe feels a lot of guilt because of that. He might not even know who did it, He just knows that he's maybe indirectly responsible for that, and that's a lot of jail time. So I don't think I have one exact theory, but it's kind of in that neighborhood. Right, Jake?
It's out there somewhere. And Patrick just lies, so I mean, who can really trust him? He definitely lied on camera in this film. So who knows what else?
Everyone's lying.
Well,
Everyone
that's
is kind
the
of
Disney
like
people.
performing in the film. Yeah, which I realized at some point. It was like a little less than a year after we shot it. I was like, everyone's kind of putting on an act. Patrick was the obvious one. We're shooting it and we knew that, but I'm watching like even Dave Ensign back, and he's like very wholesome. I'm like, he's really kind of hamming it up. No one on camera is just like being their authentic selves. So, yeah.
The camera effect.
The camera effect.
That happens. Folks, we have time for 2 more questions. Okay, maybe 3. Okay, so we're gonna go 1, 2, 3. We're gonna start at the back and work our way forward.
Great.
Hi.
Hi.
I was just wondering, you guys show some B-roll of other attractions, like Stitch's Great Escapes costume, and then like the kind of burnt down animatronic there, and the top of Figment where they had like the rainbow tunnel.
Yeah,
And then,
ImageWorks.
yeah, and then so as like urban explorers yourselves, how did you choose like which things to omit? I know there's a lot like in the history of people gaining access to the utilidors just by, like you guys mentioned in the film, testing doors in Magic Kingdom, and that's the same thing with ImageWorks, how they were getting up there because it was a lounge. So how did you choose like what things to maybe omit, or if there was something you could add to the film, what would you add?
I don't know, just for the second question, like if there's anything that I would really add. Maybe Adam the Woo, this isn't B-roll, but it's just Adam the Woo on camera saying, I shouldn't have ever done any of that stuff, I regret it. Like from our own footage. I would have really, because that's how he felt off camera. I think that's really damning for these people, because like Matt and these other guys were really inspired by him. So to him to basically say, you guys shouldn't have done it, you shouldn't have been inspired by me, I think would have been really powerful. But yeah, the B-roll, we cast a really wide net at first and then cut it down, and we realized that there's a lot of really interesting things, and like, Jake, I'm sure you can speak to this and agree with this, but Disney abandoned content is like a big rabbit hole. And when we're making this film, which was what was so important about involving Jake, was like, there's a lot of people that I think have just been these like shepherds of this topic for so long, and Jake was that. But we really had to narrow it down to just abandon things that our subjects touched. So if they didn't explore that thing or go there, it got cut, unfortunately. And if it wasn't the most important thing, like Horizons is awesome and could maybe just be a whole film, for us, it's a stepping stone. So we cut a lot of that. It was just really narrowing the focus. And yeah, there's some stuff, there's other things that aren't even abandoned, things like the Disney College program. I think is like a very notorious thing that just got really wild. And we had this whole section edited in the film about it, and all of this crazy footage that this guy gave us. But none of our characters did the college program and did all this debaucherous stuff in it, so it got cut. So that's all. It was just narrowing our focus to River Country, Discovery Island, Horizons, Cranium Command. That's about it. Yeah.
So there could be a director's cut coming, is what we're hearing.
I would love, there'll be deleted scenes on the physical disc, like the Blu-ray, there'll be deleted scenes. And I do want to put the college program part in, just to kind of honor how awful that place is, the college program. Especially Vista Way was a very notorious apartment complex.
Sounds like fun. Yes.
A lot
Okay.
of fun.
So, but you're right. I'm excited for that. And long live physical
Physical
entities for
media.
entertainment. Yeah.
It'll be out early next year. Oh, you guys are excited, cool.
Absolutely. Okay, so we've got this gentleman right here.
It was,
Yes.
oh yeah.
Yes, by the way, Jake, I still have the signed photo you still have.
Oh, wow.
From, like, back when Twitter
Oh
was
my.
still a thing. Yeah. I found it
An
in-
Etsy, that's the original Etsy thing that I sold back when I was looking at Mississauga.
Yeah,
Oh my
yeah. Why
god.
did you leave Mississauga, man? Why?
Why did I leave Mississauga?
Yeah.
I just got sick of square one. I just,
Someone from Mississauga. I understand why you.
there you go.
Canada jokes.
You get it?
I love Canada.
Mississauga's not in Vancouver, though.
Okay, you guys won't deport me if I stay here,
I
right?
mean, yeah.
Sick.
But
Thank you.
No worries, from Mississauga, it's great. But when you hear the responses about the film, there was like, going into this, I'm thinking, oh, it's just probably a serious documentary, that sort of thing. But then you see, there's humor, there's sex, there's like serious moments, there's grieving, and all of the.
There's sex?
I'm assuming.
The bathtub
I don't know.
girl, come on.
But was that?
Yeah.
Did that kind of surprise you in that sort of way when you're going from when you're traveling across the U.S. and here in Canada? Was that sort of surprising in that sense, or did it kind of was it just sort of yeah, you know? What you thought you were thinking, or?
Yeah. It was. We were like, we started this. I want you to talk more, Jake. Talk about this. When we started this, because you were there, I feel like we were like pretty serious, right?
Yeah, I mean, this.
We were like, this is a true crime documentary.
Right. We actually wanted to know what happened to Buzzy.
We thought we were gonna solve it, like I mentioned. Yeah. We started to cut it together, and we were laughing at it because we think it's pretty funny. But you know, we've been looking at this stuff for years. So we do the festival circuit, and wow, the second screening that we ever did at Slam Dance in Los Angeles, people were laughing so hard, and I was like, I think this is a funny movie. I'm still kind of like, I'm like a little dead serious about it. Like, I want to find Buzzy. But now, yeah, I'm like, what was I thinking? We moved that way even before we put it out. Like, people were coming on board and they were like, you need to punch up the funny. It was like a specific note that we got. So, yeah, it changed throughout the editing process. And I'm glad that we recognized that before we put it out and made like the serious true crime doc. Because like it needs to be funny.
It definitely needed to. And you know what?
Yeah.
It's like, you and I are Disney degenerates in a way. So we understand this to an appalling extent. But when you really start showing this story to a general population who's not in this sicko world, it is really absurd and it's very funny. So this was I think a happy accident to see the Stone Kingdom culminate in this very funny, very absurd way.
Yeah.
It was ridiculous.
It's
Yeah.
right.
There's
It is ridiculous.
parts that I was like, are these people serious?
It just doesn't feel real.
Well, I think the fact that somebody profited off of this and figured out that it was a source of revenue and went on for it for a long time was remarkable.
Yeah.
In a sense, and I think that I'm not saying that stealing is right, okay, but I respect the entrepreneurial spirit. I think urban exploring is one thing, but once you bring in theft, it's a bit of a different It's a felony.
Yes, it can be a felony. It depends on the cost.
Depends if you get caught, darling. That's
Yeah, but you know, is Disney really gonna miss these things, these items? I'm not saying.
What's the Mona Lisa
Disney,
worth?
but exactly.
okay. And with that, to our last question here in the front. And folks, before we get there, just a reminder: we're going to be out front. So if you have your question and we didn't get a chance to answer it, I'm so sorry. But we're going to be outside the theater at the end. So catch us. Well, not me. Them. I'm not that.
Catch us out there. If you know where Buzzy is, you can whisper it to
Tell
us.
us. Yes.
Outside.
Right over here, my friend.
You had mentioned that, don't do that.
This is Jake's friend.
Jeez.
You had mentioned that it was a relatively long production process. I was just curious, during this process, did you guys notice any other controversial things happening at Disney you'd be interested in covering in like a long feature-length film?
I think for me, because I grew up with this stuff and I had a really complicated relationship with it, that this film was kind of me sending the ship off away into the ocean to never see again. So I don't know if I would never cover like a theme park thing again, some crazy crime. But the Disney stuff and controversy on this scale, I think I've moved on from. And it's like a way of me. I started this, I was 23, same age as Patrick, unfortunately. When we met and I realized that, I was like, oh, geez. 23 when Buzzy was stolen. I was 25 when we started shooting. I'm 31 now. It's a really interesting period of your life to grow up with the film, and this is my first film. So I'm tying this bow off and being done with it. But yeah, I don't know. I love it. I would maybe do something shorter and put it on YouTube with these kinds of weirdo, what are you, sickos you call them?
Yeah, I think that's pretty apt.
Jake and I, we were talking about it earlier, doing some short thing. There's a lot of weirdos in the world.
There's so much.
Yeah.
Everyone is so weird. Everyone is so problematic.
Yeah.
There's just so much to talk about.
Something short on YouTube, maybe, but not another like feature doc in a theater.
You don't want to spend another 8 years on something like this?
No. I don't want to be in this much debt again for something
call.
like this. But yeah, Stolen Kingdom 2, you know, if Patrick finds Buzzy for us, because now he's saying he's going to find Buzzy.
Indicate himself.
Yeah, but that's it. That's, I think, the only other Disney thing that I would cover. Unless someone wants to one-up Patrick out there. And then I guess I'm the guy.
And
Put up a public call for it.
I was gonna say, like, some of the things
Falling for
that
it.
are coming out, I'm like, we just don't know how this is going to play later. So I'm excited for these interviews to be posted on YouTube.
Yeah. Gosh, we really, I mean, at this point, we're so far into this thing. We've incriminated ourselves so many times. It's okay.
What a
40
great
minutes.
place to end it, folks. So,
And one time,
okay. Folks, thanks for joining us tonight. Let's have a big round of applause for Justin. I'm your host, Kabir. Have a good night. We'll see you out front. Thanks, everybody.